Hi, my loves. Welcome to your cosmic weather report for the week ahead. Now, we've got a really dreamy week coming up this week, which is going to feel really good, especially after the intensity of last week. I know last week we had that big Venus, Mars, and Pluto energy. And Aquarius season in general has been taking us on this big journey of discovering our most true and authentic self and really freeing ourselves to be more of us. And now we get to take that and really go inwards with that, because on Monday we move into Pisces season. Now this is going to help you to really now go into this newfound sense of self and to go deeply into your intuition and your deep wisdom and your inner knowing. Pisces season helps us to really realize that we are part of something way greater. It helps us to really be able to start to flow through the world in full trust in who we are and that we are always being guided and supported. And this energy is going to be really, really gorgeous. We're starting to now begin to visualize what it is that we want come spring. So we're starting to see all around us in nature now, these little kind of shoots coming up through the earth. Nature starting to gently ease and stir out of winter. And we too now are probably feeling more of this stirring of what wants to create and manifest and come to life through us. And Pisces season gives us this ability to be able to envision what we want, to dream the dream. So the beginning of the week in particular is a time to just get really lost in your imagination, lost in the dream world, lost in, if my life could be exactly the way that I wanted it to be, what would that look like? What would that feel like? What would I be doing? And just be mindful if the little kind of logical voice comes in from somewhere behind, and just allow yourself to dream. Allow yourself to, at the beginning of the week, to perhaps just start to go with the flow a little bit more, to take some of the pressures off yourself. If you have found, again, with that Mars energy, that there's been a lot of energy of go and do, and things aren't happening quick enough, and you've got to push and you've got to struggle, and instead just allowing yourself to be a little bit more in that feminine flow of ease and allowing and receiving. Now we're going to really feel this energy on Thursday when Venus and Mars meet. So Venus being the feminine energy of the zodiac, Mars being that masculine energy, Venus being our self-worth, love, relationships, abundance, Mars being motivation, drive, desire. So what we're going to feel around Thursday is this beautiful energy of our deepest desires starting to stir to the surface. And then this feeling of motivation to want to go out there after what it is that you really want. We're also really going to be able to be in this balance of masculine and feminine energy. So that masculine energy being the holding energy, the supportive energy, and the masculine also being the energy that makes us want to do something, go out there and do it, get up in the morning, go after what we want. And then that feminine energy then of weaving and creating and flowing and being able to really follow and trust our intuition to where we want to go. So there's going to be this really beautiful energy towards the end of the week around not necessarily taking action from your logical mind, but there's going to be deep inner knowings, there's going to be deep inner desires, there's going to be a real ability to tap into your intuition, and then with that, the belief and the motivation to follow it. So whereby we normally feel an intuitive knowing and then the logical mind kind of comes in and goes, oh, but can we make that happen? Would that happen? There's just going to be a deeper desire of a yes to follow this. Now, this is going to be particularly strong on Friday, but before I get to Friday, let me stick with Thursday, because on Thursday, it's also a 222 day. So it's the 22nd of February. The energy of 222 is again about intuition. It's about inner knowing, but it's also about connection. It's about flow, and it's about trust that we are being guided. If you're continually seeing the number 222, it's normally a sign that you're on the right path. Keep going, keep trusting, keep believing. So we've got this energy again coming in towards the end of the week that's saying to us, trust, just follow what it is that you want to do. Let yourself be led. Let yourself be guided. Now on Friday, Mercury moves into Pisces. Now this is really beautiful to add to the energy of this week, because when Mercury moves into Pisces, our mind gets a little quieter and our intuition and inner knowing gets a little louder. So whenever Mercury is in Pisces, we've got this ability again to be able to really tap into soul wisdom, higher self wisdom, deep heart and soul knowings, deep intuitive nudges. So if you allow yourself to dream at the beginning of the week about what it is that you want, what it is that you desire, what it is you'd like in your life, towards the end of the week, then we're going to start to really feel the intuitive sense of how to make that happen, the little nudge to call someone, the little sign that you see that tells you to keep going. We're going to be able to tap into a lot of the whispers of our soul and the whispers of the universe. So the universe is always trying to speak to us, always, 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 but very often we miss the signs because we're tunnel visioned, or we're very focused on what it is that we want as humans, or we're maybe too in that Mars energy, pushing and struggling and striving, which is again the masculine energy. And a lot of this week's energy, especially with Venus meeting Mars, is about allowing ourselves to be a bit more in that feminine flow. So allowing ourselves, rather than having to push and strive and struggle, to surrender and receive and trust that we're being guided and supported, and that everything that we want also wants to make its way to us. So with Mercury in Pisces, start to listen and hear more, start to allow yourself to receive more, to receive the signs, the nudges, the inner knowings, and also just feeling what it is that you want coming to you. So there is going to be a motivation and a drive to have it. There's going to be a belief that you can do it. So as I mentioned, whereby normally we go into our mind and go, oh, could I make that happen? There's going to be something in you that just goes, yes, 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 yes. But then rather than pushing ahead in our human way of like, right, I've got to struggle, that receiving everything that I want also wants to make its way to me. Now, there is something to be said for meeting the universe halfway. We can't just sit at home on the sofa and expect the universe to deliver, but we don't have to push and struggle as much as we sometimes do, because we are always being supported and guided, which is what Pisces season really helps us to believe. So give it up to something greater too. Universe, please show me the way. Guides, please help me with this, so that we're constantly doing what we can do, and then allowing the space and the magic for the universe to also come in and weave for us and create for us and guide us and show us the way, really being in that feminine energy of receiving and flow. It's going to be such a beautiful week this week. We do also, though, get this week the Virgo full moon. Now, what we might find in the run up to this full moon is a little bit of frustration, especially around perhaps what it is that you've seen that you want. So you might be able to envision what you want, see it, believe it, feel it. But then you might also feel a deep frustration around, well, why is it not here yet? Why has it not happened yet? Why does it never happen for me? Why am I always having to struggle so much? And this full moon is really going to, again, ask us to really be in that space of noticing where we get in our own way. So where do you say you want something, or you dream this dream, and then you do get in your own way, whether that is through procrastination, or whether that's through sabotage, or whether that's because you have to wait until everything's perfect until you can start something, or whether it is just that little voice of our mind where we allow ourselves to be so caught up in our mind with all of its little, that might go wrong, that might go wrong, that might go wrong, and we don't allow ourselves to drop into our inner wisdom of our bodies and our hearts and our souls enough. This Virgo full moon is going to help us to really close, release and let go. It's the final full moon of this astrological year before we start a new astrological year when we get Aries season. It's also the final full moon before we move into eclipse season, and this next eclipse season is going to be huge. So this full moon is almost a release point before we move into all this new energy of what are you ready to leave behind? What gets in the way of your dreams? When you do dream this little dream and let your imagination run wild, what is it that then gets in the way of you being able to go after that? And what is it that you're ready to truly release and leave behind? Pisces season being that final season of the zodiac, it helps us to begin to envision and dream and see what we want to grow in spring, but it also helps us to see what we do need to leave behind in the old astrological year and not take forwards with us. So this Virgo full moon is going to be a really beautiful opportunity to do the releasing and the letting go, and then from that to begin to make the plan to get to what it is that you want. So all these little dreams you've dreamed at the start of the week, Virgo will be like, right, how do we do that? Let's go. And then finally on Sunday, we get Venus square Jupiter. Now, once again, this is going to be an energy of Venus, that energy of our desires and our worth, and Jupiter being that planet of expansion. We're going to find an expansion into ourselves, an expansion of, yeah, I can make this happen. Yeah, I'm ready to show up in the world. Yes, I'm ready to do what I came here to do. Yes, I'm ready to allow these dreams and desires within me to be set free. Yes, I'm ready to really show up as all of me and really create what it is that I want to create from a place of trust and surrender and flow versus struggle. So we're going to find this real expansion of not only expanding into more of yourself, but expanding into more of your desires, into more of your dreams. So this is such a beautiful week for dreaming, for visualizing, for seeing the future that you want. We've also got an element then of being able to see what gets in the way of that, but we get that big full moon that's going to help us to release that. And then we get this energy of support, of trust in something greater, of knowing, and I know I say this to a lot, but if you have a dream or a desire within you or something that you want to create within you, that's because the universe, your soul, the feminine energy of the universe wants to bring that to life through you. It's there for a reason. So this is a week to really start to visualize, to dream. Come spring, when we get the spring equinox on the 20th of March, we've got a month now left of the final little bits of winter, but where we're slowly starting to wake up and we're making the plan for what we're going. It's almost like now we're starting to plant the seeds for what we want to grow in our lives in spring and summer. So this is planting those dream seeds and letting those dream seeds kind of be in there and start to grow some roots. And it's going to be a really, really beautiful, dreamy week where if you have been struggling with anything in your life, if you have felt like things were a lot lately, you're going to be able to call on greater support. There's going to be a real sense this week of being supported and guided and being able to trust in you and also in something greater. So if you have been really struggling with anything, if you have felt like you've been through that death rebirth portal over the past few weeks, if you have felt things have been heavy, ask for help over this week. I don't know what to do with this. Please help me. Please guide me. Please show me. This is a real time to trust in something greater. And it's this trust in something greater that's going to help you to be able to really go out there and go after what you want and make it happen in the world. So a really sweet energy this week, my loves, a really beautiful, creative, feminine, trusting, receiving, surrendered energy. So enjoy it, be in it, and use it to really envision what it is that you want to grow in your life. I'm sending you so much love. I will see you all really soon.